Since you graduated from college, we haven't seen too much of you.
We know you've been very busy climbing the ladder of success.
We've been watching you on your way up.
And we've enjoyed seeing you put your degree to work.
Now, how about sharing your time with us?
Your expertise would come in handy, too.
You can reconnect with your alma mater through your alumni association.
It's time for you to come back to your campus.
Call your alumni office today.
Hi, Puddin'.
Oh, you're so I don't have shoes.
Oh, if you are gorgeous. Lauren, talk to me. Come on, you can do it.
Get the keys. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Hold your head up with pride. Let the world.
Welcome to the IPFW Hilliard Gate Center. This is Tim Heffern along with Blake Sebring calling the action tonight's match. And we are about ready to start with our lineups. We'll send it to our house announcer.
Number 4, James Milkert. Number 6, Pat Martin. Number 7, Rob Steinkooler. Number 13, Mark Reimer. And captain number 14, Steve Drexler. The Hawks are coached by Tim Coates, and he's assisted by Jeremy Svoboda and Angie Dowd. And now the starters for IPFW Mastodons. Captain and number 5, Ricardo Soler. Number 7, Ryan Perrott. Number 10, Chris Gislin. Number 11, Mike Cummings. Number 12, Javier Escobar. And number 13, Hector Soto. The head coach for the Mastodons is Arnie Ball, and he is assisted by Mark Franke, Lisa Horman, Roger Horman, and Dave Smidlin.
This evening's IPFW men's volleyball match on Channel 6 is brought to you in part by Fujifilm USA, by the Chestnut Group Incorporated, and by Farm Bureau Insurance. Well, Blake, what do we have on score for us tonight?
Well, IPFW has never lost to Quincy. They're 10-0 against them. They need to play well after last night. They really need a confidence boost here to get going into Puerto Rico on spring break, because they did not play well at all last night.
Oh, you're such a nice guy.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be honest.
And that you are. We have.
I could have really said how they played.
Well, I was here too, and like I said, you're very generous. Very generous.
Quincy's a very, very, very young team. They have 10 freshmen on the roster.
And maybe 5 of them starting right now.
Wow. And
that's building for the future is what that is.
Their big gun is number 14, Steve Drexler. He's I believe Steve, they got him listed as a freshman in the program, but actually Steve is a senior. He's a 6'2" outside hitter from St. Louis, and he's a very good player. Does a nice job for them.
Here's our first serve as Lauren Giebert signals the serve. We're off and running. We got a nice pass here and then a middle shot. That's a nice thing to see.
It's very nice. They really struggled with that last night, and that's something that IPFW really needs to work on.
We have Chris Gislin, which we hope will serve a little better today than yesterday. He gets the first one in. They're going for the pipe set. It's a nice dig by Hector. That ball's going back to Hector. He rips it. It's dug. They're in play, but it's going to be a roll shot. That should about make it a free ball. It's on target. There's another middle. It's dug again. However, setter tip into the corner. The setter hit the net, however, on his follow through.
James Milkert hit it. That's pretty good rally for Quincy there.
Very good rally.
Both teams getting into the match early.
We've noticed that Quincy has taken a game from Loyola and Ball State.
And also Lewis.
And Lewis as well. That's quite an accomplishment with a young team, I believe. There's one off the hands, played up nicely by Ryan Perrott. Outside to the Hobbs. He'll get a Drano for a point.
One difference, 2 differences in the teams. IPFW is a lot taller and they're a lot better athletes, it looks like, right off the start. They can get up higher.
And in volleyball, that kind of has something to do with it. That's a nice pass, and he rips the middle one as Ryan Perrott,
As you and I would both know.
attempts to dig that one, basically playing defense and making a defensive move to cover his face, I think, rather than digging that one. Quick pass this time. Nice set, however, out of it. And that's the kind of set we might have been looking for last night there on that kind of a pass.
It seemed like last night the whole match was slow. The offense was slow, the defense was slow. It looks like they picked up the tempo a little bit tonight.
And Ricky fires his first serve in. They're going weak side. It's blocked. Nice penetration by Hector on the block. Again, more penetration by the blockers. Let's go for three. No, this one's up in the rafters. It doesn't touch anything. It does not touch anything. That's in play. Another block. We've got 3 blocks. And Mike Cummings rips the net for a side out to Quincy.
Pretty scrappy play so far.
Very defensive oriented. We would expect that out of Quincy being a somewhat smallish team.
Lots of energy so far.
There's a nice serve. It's in. It's handled well. Again,
Beautiful pass by Ryan Perrott.
Boy, that's what we need, is to see a lot of that good passing and hitting out of the middle.
Go quick to the middle, too.
Mike Cummings back to serve. He's been serving well lately.
I thought he played very well last night.
There's another outside set. Nice touch by Ryan off the blocking hands. Back to the Hobbs. He rips it down the line, and there's also a net. Take your choice. Point for the Dons.
You know, I don't understand why there's so many calls in the net this year. I thought they were supposed to allow incidental contact.
Yep.
True?
That's the truth, except if you're in a blocking motion, it's not exactly incidental, I guess. But I still see them. I don't see much difference in the amount of nets.
Exactly.
And I was kind of hoping some of that would go away, but apparently not, as Ryan is faked out by a back row setter, I believe, and ends up ripping it out of bounds.
My back row player is about 4 inches shorter.
And there's a jump serve into the net.
You know, that's my jump serve right there.
That was it?
That's it.
That's a pretty good jump serve,
If I could hit it that hard, I'd be real happy. I don't care where it goes. If I could just hit it that hard.
That's right. They're off again with a middle. They got a nice middle attack, and I think we had the credit card defense happening there. IPFW charging everything.
I thought it meant they were waving plastic at it.
They're charging into the middle of the court. It goes over Hobbs' head and in. That might be a signal that you're kind of in the middle of the court. Hector's about ready to fire up his jumper. He does. It's a tad long. Just a wee bit.
Put it this way, it almost hit the basketball baseline.
Yeah, we're trying to go for bricks on the wall on that one, but he missed some. There's an easy floater. It's in, handled well by Ricky. Back to Ricky. He's got the net, however.
Not a very good set.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a great set. But they were in the net.
Tell you what, Quincy's impressing me so far.
Yeah,
Even though they're losing 3-0, they're scrambling.
That's a pretty solid group of freshmen, I think. 3-0 the score at this point for
they don't look out of place at all.
That one's just a little low. Ryan serves one into the net. And we get a short floater handled by Hector. Not very well, however. Easy double block. And again, another net. We got another net on Quincy. Quincy's just all over the net. You know, if they stay out of the net.
It's like 3-1 or 3-3 right now if they're out of the net.
So the Quincy blockers helping the Dons cause at this point. There goes another weak side attack. It goes through the block, out of Mike Cummings' vision, so he completely missed the ball on his attempt to play it.
I get the feeling IPFW might have taken this match a little lightly.
I'm thinking it looks that way. I think it's a pretty big letdown from last night. I wouldn't be surprised to see some substitutions shortly. There's another nice middle attack, but it's blocked and dug and outside and handled by Ryan, our defensive wonder. Hobbs rips it, but Gislin covers nicely. Hobbs again rolls this time. It's picked up well. Back row hit, no, a roll shot. Ryan handles it. It's set outside. Weak play. Saved. Oh, it's down on Quincy's side. Yes, somehow snakes through the block.
And you're right, Ryan was the defensive wonder on that series. He earned them that point. He has really done a nice job this year of improving his defense.
He did.
I haven't seen IPFW ever have a middle who played defense like that.
No middle has ever done that for IPFW, and he put a lot of work into it this summer as his junior national Canadian coach worked with him this summer on a lot of that kind of physical thing, and he's really improved. It's noticeable.
Who's the best IPFW middle you've seen?
In the history of the game here? Best middle. Well, I missed 3 years, so I'm not going to look at those 3 years. But I thought Jay Goldstein was about the best middle I'd ever seen.
But he's more of an outside.
He ended up being an outside, but when he was in the middle, he was unbelievable.
Yeah, I bet.
He could play any, well, what he did was he would, at that time, we really only had him as the one major gun, so he would hit outside, then he would block middle. So he would transition in the middle, hit a lot of stuff in transition, but not off the serve.
Huh.
He kind of did everything. Oh, we're still in. And the Dons kind of gave up on that one. There was a nice play by Hobby to try to save that one on a second contact. That ball firing pretty quickly. It's tough to control.
I'll tell you who was a really, really good middle in the early days was Ted Owen. He was very good.
Ted was a great middle. Ted was the best middle blocker I think we've ever had.
Well, I don't know. Neil was a really good middle blocker too, Neil Day.
See, he was the one I didn't see in those 3 years, but I thought Ted Owen had probably the best blocking technique I had ever seen out of anybody at IPFW. Any position.
Ted was just an animal.
Oh, unbelievable.
Gosh, could he jump.
He had that technique down. He could see the block coming. He just knew. He's just a natural at it. And somehow it's like you just have to be a natural at that kind of thing because it's so hard. It's such a, it's the skill that's the most frustrating in volleyball because you never touch the ball, it seems like. You jump 10 times, you're lucky to touch it once.
Your calves are screaming at you.
So there's not a lot of positive reinforcement coming from blocking, that's for sure. And they'll go back the other way with their slide attack. It's handled this time, and Gislin back to Hector. It's down and in. Point.
That's a play we didn't see a lot of last night.
Yeah, we did. Saw a little bit of it early, I thought.
Right, but we never saw it much afterwards.
Seemed like we had very few options and that things were forced.
But that's usually a safety valve play that works when things aren't working.
Hector goes for a little too much there. 5-0. The Dons have this under control at this point, but Quincy's certainly putting up a fight. There's a nice serve. Handcuffs Hector a little bit. There it is again.
That's a play we didn't see last night.
Yeah, we never saw the what we call a green set. It's short and out to the antenna. Never saw it once last night. Very effective. Ryan Perot's changing where he's serving from, hoping to get this one in, I think.
Ryan's really improved a lot this year over last year. His middle is also a position that takes a long time to mature.
Oh, look at Ryan with a huge dig. Great roll shot, puts him on the defensive. We get a free ball out of the deal. Ricky will take a one-on-one, and it is out of bounds by the line judge. Some disagreement on that.
Lauren overruled, though. Lauren had a pretty good view of it.
Boy, that was a great play by Ryan Perot, and that'll cause a timeout to be called by Tim Koff, Quincy coach. And so we will return after these messages.
Check it out.
The campus has it all.
Learn it, or work it, or play it, just do it. It's a cool place. Call now. Go to work, go to school, go ahead.
Welcome back to the IPFW Hilliard Gate Sports Center. This is Tim Heff along with Blake Sebring calling the action here for you tonight as the Dons have a 6-0 lead after the first timeout called by Quincy.
It's been pretty much a defensive struggle so far.
Pretty much so. I think really Quincy's right there. They just haven't finished off the plays for points, either blocking or whatever it may be. And that's part of that youngness that they're going to have, although there's a great attack off the block there by Quincy.
Tell you what, Quincy's much improved over last year.
Oh yeah, huge difference, huge difference. I noticed the same difference though with their
Call the lift.
Called the lift on that, and we'll watch that because anytime somebody tries to tip it from now on, they better not palm it like that because it should be called the same way.
That was a kind of a respect call.
Yeah. And Mike again, he's up over the block and into the corner where you don't put a defender.
If you're a senior All-American, you might get that call.
Oh yeah.
Lloyd got a ton of those. Oh, it hit him. It hit him. Nice try.
He tried to let her drop, but it unfortunately touched him.
Then he tried to fake out everybody, too. And that was a good effort. Didn't work.
That would be the first serving air off the foot I've ever seen in my life.
We'll see how long it takes him to live that one down.
Another blocking error. It's just killing him because that ball's hit out of bounds.
We should explain, too, if he lets the ball drop and it hits the court, if he does it once, he gets a duel.
Right.
But if it hits him...
That's it. That's all you get.
That's the least effective serve I think I've ever seen.
And there comes the inside cross, the first time we've seen that play by Quincy, and I don't think that was the time to try it because the pass was off the net.
Well, the people in the concession stand were ducking.
And there comes the famous jump floater by Ricky Soler. That ball goes off of Javi's head. Still in play, however, to the weak side, out of bounds off the block.
That's one where it's good that Javi's head was angled back over the net, huh?
Yeah. Aim that head towards the court. Yeah, I've noticed the same thing with the women's team for Quincy. We play them there in our conference for women, and they're much improved over the previous year.
That was Steve Drexler, the kid we were talking about at the beginning of the show.
That may have been a missed serve, as that ended up being a jump floater. I don't think that's quite what he had in mind. Let's see here how he hits this one. He doesn't. There's that replay
pretty
we're
darn
talking
good
about.
serve, though.
Yeah, that'll ace anybody, I think. If you can do that, that's pretty impressive.
He's got some gun on that.
Yeah, he's really trying. Not much spin on that ball. That's a really tough jump floater there. I've seen, Victor for Lewis is about the best at that I've ever seen.
Uvaldo Acosta had the best one I ever saw.
And we have another net serve by the Dons. It's 7-2 at this point in favor of the Dons. There's a short serve, a nice one in fact. Back set to the Hobbs. He's got it down the line, it's in play. And that's just kind of one of those natural reactions as a front row, right front player who's not the setter has a reaction to come off the net, but you got to realize that the ball's coming too fast for that back row setter to get it. So you got to make the adjustment. Oh, there's a nice back set. Oops, hit out of bounds, however.
I'll tell you what, the Hawks are going to lose tonight in this game. But they're going out swinging. I mean, they're swinging hard at everything.
They've got the offense running and gunning here. It's nice to see because that's what you got to have. You're building for future, really, is what they're doing here. That young a team, you can't expect too much. That ball's down.
Tell you what, the things that they're running are effective.
Very effective.
I mean, the holes in the IPFW defense are there.
There's another nice floater. Going back to Hector, however. He's down the line. It's dug just a little too long, though. Not many folks we've seen this year that can dig that shot by Hector.
Saw a few of them last night. Ohio State really had him pegged.
Ohio State, known as a ball control team, they're just gonna dig everything. That ball's long this time out of Hector.
They're not serving very well tonight, are they?
No. That's part of that focus and concentration level. If you take a game lightly, that tends to show up real quickly. That pass not very good. Back out to Ricky on a nice set, however.
I'll tell you what, I've been impressed with Quincy's serving. They were real aggressive. They go right after you.
They're going after it,
They
hitting
don't,
and
they don't hit
serving.
too many lollipops.
Yeah, they're going to take their cracks at it. They're going to go down swinging if they're going down. There's a nice serve. That is just a little long, however, floats long.
I think Quincy served much better than IPFW tonight.
So far they have. There's another nice one. Boy, those are not easy. Inside cross for IPFW. That ball's out of bounds, however. Could have been a touch. They don't call a touch. Point for Quincy. They're really gunning those serves over there. They're not easy. That one might be easy, however.
No.
Apparently not. And there's a little net by the Dons.
It wasn't as easy as it looked, that's for sure, because it did not look like that difficult of a serve to handle.
It kind of maybe surprised by that serve, expecting something else, something like that. That's what he's expecting. And out. And he rips that into the net.
Something I've noticed with Hector is how often he passes flat-footed, and you know as a coach that you want to be up on your toes so the ball is angled towards your setter. He's passing flat-footed a lot.
Yeah, he lets the ball get into his body a little too much, and you got to keep the ball away from your body if you're going to pass the ball effectively. There's the pineapple that's in there.
Well, I'm telling you, there's going to be a timeout here pretty soon.
We might be hearing something out of Coach Ball. It's 8-6. What a run
We're
by
at the other end of
Quincy.
the building.
We don't need to put a mic on him. I know that. There we go. He gets that. And that's the difference right there.
They got it pegged.
Is that Hector kept the ball away from his body and it was on target when he does that. However, Quincy going for everything.
Yeah,
They'll hit the net there.
They're trying. They are trying hard to get anything they can.
Follow through of the setter hitting the ball, catches the net.
That's an aggressive play. You got to like that. They're having fun. They're going for it. It's 8-6.
Gislin's ready to whip up his spinner. He does. It's out. Nope, they play it.
I think you're right. It would have been out.
And, taking a big swing at that
Missed
ball.
it, though.
Just a little long. Gotta like their attitude.
These kids are fun to watch.
Yeah, they are. Gislin fires up another one. That is a back row hit. It is long. That makes the score 10-6.
10-6.
As Quincy's still firing away, and they should. There's another nice pass. It's outside, off the block. It's played up. It's in. Yes, what a great play by Hector to save that one. Here they go out of the middle. It's played up, and Ricky's going to set. Gislin out of the back row. It is. What is it? What is it? It's in. Call it good.
I think there was one where they missed a guy in the net.
Yeah, that could have been. I think the ball hit the net on its way over and just kind of helped it stay in bounds there.
11-6.
That was a great rally by the Dons. Gislin's got that side spinner that time. Handcuffs him.
Nobody there.
That'll cost them. Here we go. Not a great set. Back row. Very nice set with no block up. Rips it into the net, and that's going to happen to a young team, which causes the timeout for Quincy. The College Cable Access Program Guide provides information about our programming, including IPFW Sports Telecast. To receive your free Channel 6 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to Channel 6 at IPFW, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805, or call us at 481-6000, or email us at channel6@ipfw.edu. Well, Colin, used to having Colin next to me. We'll take Blake, however, today. And what do you see so far, Blake?
I tell you what, I'm kind of surprised I'm saying this, but I think Quincy's playing harder.
They seem to be putting out
They got a lot more
effort.
effort, a little bit more emotion. They didn't take this match lightly, but it's 12-6. IPFW is playing well enough to win. But
Yeah.
Quincy's doing some good things.
Definitely a great effort so far by Quincy. Really impressive. Really impressive. Dons are talking about it a little extra too. I think it was Quincy who called the timeout. And usually the team that calls the timeout takes the most time to get back out on the floor, but
And you know what would you say to them if you're Tim Koff? Keep trying. You're going good, you know?
that's right. Just keep pounding away. Things will eventually happen. And here we go again with another spinner. That's on target. Great pass again. Inside cross. Oh, you gotta like that. Rips it.
My
Rip it
goodness.
and rip it.
They hit that ball about as hard as Tom Junkie used to hit it for IPFW.
Oh, my
He used to
goodness.
nail it. How'd you like to stick your arm underneath one of those?
I'm glad I'm over here. Nice serve again. Second option, and that one's going to cause some havoc. And that's what young teams are susceptible to, is that inside cross. They don't communicate well and will cause that kind of opening for the crossing player. There's a nice short serve by Ricky. Equally nice back set, however, it's roofed this time.
Don't you almost have to guess on the inside cross?
You do. Either you have to guess or you have to switch positions or step around the middle blocker. You have to kind of choose how you're going to defend it before you defend it, or it's going to be too late.
Because last night, Ball State or Ohio State was guessing. I mean, and they were guessing correctly a lot of times on that.
Well, I think they really didn't respect our middle and just kind of gave up on it. So anytime they saw a cross coming, they figured the cross person was going to get the ball, and they did. The only way to get rid of that is to, there's side out for Quincy. The only way to get rid of that is to run the cross, but set the quick option. Then they'll eventually respect that, and then the cross will open up. I didn't see us do that.
Here comes Steve Drexler serving. He had some rockets early. Let's see what he does this time.
If they can get a few points back here, it's 14-6. Oh, he's going to stay on the ground this time. That one is long, but in. And Hector outside off the block. It is up, and close to us. It's just in the net.
I think you intimidated him.
Talked him out of that one, huh? Mike Cummings back serve for game point on game one.
Nice
Ball's
serve.
in. Back set, it's ripped. And that ball is out of bounds. Point for the Dons. And a little something happened there to Hector on that block. He fell down, not happy about something. Dons will take the other side of the court. And so, we come to the end of the first game. We will be back after these messages.
Team spirit is alive and well at IPFW. That's because IPFW has established itself as an athletic power, not only regionally, but nationally. With 11 major sports, IPFW offers talented student athletes great opportunities. Success and support of IPFW athletics comes solely from the fans, students, faculty, alumni, and the prestigious Royal Dons Club. The Royal Dons Athletic Club has over 500 members who financially support IPFW athletics, enabling the university to provide scholarships to deserving athletes. Members will receive one or all of the following: season passes to all sporting events, special seating, hospitality room, plus Royal Dons apparel and gifts. Be a part of the winning tradition. Join the Royal Dons Club. We need your support. Call IPFW Athletics. Get into the team spirit.
Your parents are always bugging you to get out and exercise. But the last people you want to be like are your parents.
Hi, I'm Edward James Olmos. On the streets of Fort Wayne, there's a battle going on. It's about kids fighting kids and families fighting families. Our youth are struggling to survive. Without positive alternatives to gangs, drugs, and violence, many will end up incarcerated or dead. You can make a difference by supporting the Multicultural Youth Advisory on Gangs and its programs. They provide alternatives for youth. Together we can stop the violence and increase the peace. To learn how you can make a difference in the lives of youth, please call.
Welcome back to IPFW Mastodome here. Let's go over this evening's IPFW men's volleyball match on Channel 6 is brought to you in part by Fujifilm USA, by the Chestnut Group Incorporated, and by Farm Bureau Insurance. Blake, what do you see so far with the stats?
Well, you know, as scrappy as Quincy is, their statistics don't help them much.
Yeah.
They hit 10% in the first game. IPFW hit a nice 49%. That's pretty good. The one statistic that really strikes me is that each team only had one block in the first game. You would think IPFW with a bigger, more experienced team would have more blocks than that. But as assistant coach Mark Franke said during the break, they have a helter-skelter offense. Everybody flies everywhere.
That's right. Really the only difference, because everything else is equal, the only difference is the Dons have twice as many kills and Quincy has twice as many errors as the Dons. Other than that, everything else is about identical.
I think you can see that just the experience, maybe a little bit more athleticism coming in
Definitely.
for IPFW.
Okay, we're about ready to start the second game here.
That was a pretty quick first game, too.
Not too bad, about a half hour. That's maybe average, maybe a little quick. Billy Barone, our second referee, checking the lineups for both sides. Lauren Gebert is on the top tonight.
And what's he know about volleyball?
Not a thing. Very good player, All-American, been to the sports festival. He's done many things.
He's probably IPFW's first great player.
Yeah, he was the first one to go into the professional ranks, play overseas.
He's also the first one to become a All-American.
Yeah, he would be the equivalent of Dottie, I guess, as Dottie is our first female All-American for the program.
Well, I don't know. Nobody's the equivalent of Dottie.
Hopefully we're going to hear from Dottie here tonight somewhere. She's out in the crowd with the, she'll be on later on. She's out in the crowd looking for stories. And there's a nice pass by Hector. It's played in by George, who's in the lineup now for the Dons. That'll be off Hector.
George Iacovo is probably IPFW's best offensive middle.
Definitely is. He's got a very quick arm. Has kind of that European flavor where he likes the ball set really tight to the net and he just kind of slashes and dices. There's a great example of it.
He's got a great arm swing. I mean, he's just like a Clint Eastwood forearm shot, you know. He's just real short, compact, and powerful.
His nemesis happens to be blocking, I think.
He's not a very big middle.
That ball sent long, a little thumb into the ball there by Quincy. That'll cause a point. The score is now 1-1.
George is only 6'5", but as a middle hitter today, it's not very large.
Yeah, in my day, you know, Goldstein, like we're talking about, Goldstein was 6'4". It's probably shrunk since the age has caught up with him.
Tom Junkie was what, 6'2", 6'3"?
He's only 6'2". And Neil Day's not that tall either.
Neil's 6'5", 6'4".
But nowadays, when these guys are hitting, the kind of recruits that Arnie goes after, people are hitting, touching 11 feet plus.
I think he's talking to a 6'8" kid for next year. I mean,
yeah, it's all sorts of things that, you know, back when I played, we were lucky to have one or two people. Freddie Malcolm was
6'5", 6'6", yeah.
He was our big guy, and he touched 11 too. You know, we were happy with one. Well, now they all have to do that, or you're not on the floor. George serves one just a tad wide. Score still 1-1.
And here we are, 5'10" and
5'11".
5'11", saying they're not big enough.
That's right. Of course, poor Javi looks like a midget out there compared to everybody else, but he's basically 5'11". Just looks like he's 4 foot tall compared to everybody else.
Oh, I'm living vicariously through Javi out there.
Javi's just abnormally quick. He's got about the fastest arm swing I've seen for the Dons in a long time.
Maybe since Tom Junkie, yeah.
He can consistently hit the ball, and the ball will hit the ground far before he starts to descend from his jump. You just don't see a lot of that anymore. There's a nice pass. It's back out to Hector. He's got 2 blockers, but he goes off the hands out of bounds. Just trading punches at this point. 1-1 still our score.
You know, you can't do this very long because, you know, a young Quincy squad will just gain confidence.
They certainly are. There's a nice jump serve. That's an overpass. It's put up, but into the net again is Quincy. They're just saying they're not hitting the net, but the net is called. They're up to about 5 net errors on blocking at this point. That is going to be a reserve. He must hit this one. He can't let this one drop. So if he lets it drop, it's just the same as hitting it out. He hits it, it's out, so.
You called it.
Might as well hit his foot like Chris. I don't have to,
Poor Chris is
we'll have to get some ribbing on him.
Well, I
on
think
that.
we need a nickname. I mean, come on, Bigfoot or
Bigfoot.
or Clubfoot or.
Hey, there's a pineapple. That's the first time this year I've seen somebody really pick up the pineapple shot by Chris. They were obviously scouted that one out. There's a nice shot, but a great dig. And it's tossed and through George's hands for the point.
I think I got one for Chris. And it's serve toe.
Serve toe. Okay.
Instead of turf toe, calling it serve toe.
Yeah. And there's a big set outside to Ricky. He hits it in. Oh, nice block. Ricky comes back
Boy,
in.
there's just not much life on this side of the court, is there?
No, there isn't. There's not a lot
You should
of
be having
life.
fun out here playing. Very workmanlike effort.
And there's a serve that's in, handled well by Quincy. Middle slide play. Sliding past the middle blocker. That is a designed play. Works well.
You don't see that play much in the men's game anymore. You used to see it a lot. You see it a lot in the women's, don't you?
Well, it's a different type of slide for the women. The men tend to go, oh, that ball looked in. It's not. The men tend to take off a 2 feet and broad jump through the air, whereas the women will take off a 1 foot, which naturally guides you, makes you broad jump. A little discussion here. Not sure what the problem is. But yeah, I don't see a whole lot of slides anymore. Goldstein was the slide king.
He was great. IPFW is playing flat-footed a lot tonight.
Yeah, they're just, you're exactly right. They're going to work tonight. They're just not going to be real fancy or exciting. They're just going to take care of business, and that's the
They're ready to go to Puerto Rico.
the mode at this point. That ball is in if he'd let it go, and that ball's blocked for a point. Had to play it.
Quincy's got the lead, 3-2.
Fans are starting to look for something else there. Looking around at each other, reading programs. That ball's off the face of Hector. 4-2. 4-2. Hector's still having a problem with his face. I don't know if he wears contacts or not. Certainly looks like he does.
Does look like he does.
He's not found it yet. I think his contact is in his eye, hopefully. Says he's okay now, so we're ready to start again.
I bet he gets this serve.
I would serve him if I were the other team.
They did.
Good play. He gets it to the 10-foot line at least, and George tries to get a nice middle attack off, and there's a back row spot, and Gislin will get it in return. He rips it off the block.
He hit it on the way down.
Oh, there's a nice cross-court angle. It's just a little long, however.
Well, I'll tell you what, Quincy is trying hard shots. I mean, if there's a corner, they're trying for it.
They're going for some nice action there, definitely.
I mean, it's like make the safe play sometimes, you know?
I tell you what, if Coach Ball can find another setter like Chris, they might have a nice 6-2 option available, where whenever the setter's in the front row, they become a hitter.
Well, the difference with that one was Chris didn't time the set very well. He hit it when he was jumping, his jump had peaked and he was coming down. That's the way Loy always used to hit it. He never hit the ball at its peak.
There's another nice service ace.
5-2.
5-2. Quincy. taking control of this one. Another nice serve. I bet that's going to the middle. It does. And therein lies the problem that I was talking about, as George will go right to the net, won't stay back, and that's that European style of middling. And when the pass is off the net, it's awfully difficult to get him the ball. Out to Hector this time. Ooh, a big block.
My goodness.
Hector just gets totally roofed. It's 2-7. 2-7.
Quincy's playing well.
Oh, there's a beautiful serve for an ace. And there comes the timeout by Coach Ball. Thus, we will be right back for more MIVA volleyball action right after this.
He's a patriot. He's one of the most admired and most respected men in America. He's a genuine American hero. Join IPFW in welcoming General Colin Powell to Fort Wayne April 9th. Speaking on the challenges of a changing world, General Powell will inspire and enlighten. Proceeds will benefit the IPFW Scholarship Fund. Make your reservations today for your chance to see and hear one of America's great patriots, General Colin Powell, April 9th. Presented by IPFW.
Welcome back to the IPFW Mastodome. We're about ready to start her up again here. Coming out of the first time out of the second game. Dons are up in games 1-0, but down in the score of the second game 2-8. Quincy serves again. Another nice serve down the line. Handcuffing Hector again. They get it back to Hobbs, and he puts one in over the block and down.
Quincy's earned this league.
Oh,
they played very well. They served tough.
They're dictating the pace of play right now, that's for sure.
They're saying if IPFW is going to slough off and not play that hard, we'll take it.
And there comes a nice shot off the block. It's played up. It's down. And yes, that's one of those plays that I think is supposed to be becoming illegal. And the refs got to pick that up, where the opposing team puts their hand up to the net.
Exactly.
The ball hits their hand and comes down onto the court sooner than otherwise if it just went into the net by itself.
That's a great play you used to try.
Oh yeah, we did. We taught them to do that, and then this year, at least in our rules, they finally said that's illegal to do that anymore. But you used to do that all the time, because the theory being that the ball cannot cause a net. So if your hand's just there and the ball pushes the net into your hand, you're okay.
Right.
Oh, what a great dig by Quincy. Holy smokes, there's a kick in.
That's good.
Holy smokes, you won't see that very much in another play up. Hector gets a swat over the block, but dug again. Oh, my goodness, what a rally that was.
That's unbelievable. That's only been legal a couple of years, where you could play the ball off any part of your body. What a quick thinking play that was.
That's the old soccer kick, the soccer offense.
What if you got a kill off of that?
Pretty hilarious.
The whole building would have come down.
That's two firsts I've seen tonight. A serve off the foot and a hit off the foot. Dons have something new in mind.
Deliberate hit off the foot.
Yeah, that was intentional. There's a nice play, but that's played up. It's still in. They'll keep it alive. It's a free ball. Oh, it's a tough free ball, too. It's not handled well by the Dons. One option, that ball's outside and dug into the stands.
Starting to pick up the intensity a little bit.
Exactly what I was going to say. There might be getting a wake-up call here. Hopefully. 3-8 is the score, and we don't see the jumper. And guess what? We get an ace. How about that, huh? Hector's reeling in pain over there.
I think he still has a problem with his eye.
He serves another nice floater. It's handled this time, though. Outside, nice block by the Dons. Point, 5-8. Dons start to wake up. I think Quincy's got to go back to that quick middle attack, because Dons are not stopping that. There's a nice slide down the line, but they hit it out of bounds.
If I were them, I might call timeout right here.
6-8 our score. I'd go back to that middle and don't have them slide, just hit right next to setter. They're having trouble with that. There's a pineapple attempt, but it's handled. Nice middle attack.
Oh, come on, they hit the ball.
Yeah, you can't do that. That ball's in, right to the setter. It's tipped
Oh,
again.
you gotta hit the ball.
And that ball's off the block, out of bounds. That
Boy,
just
James
shows
Milker's got to come up with a set on this.
Yeah,
he's got to.
And he really couldn't because he's just not athletic enough to handle that quick a pass, and that shows kind of the difference between the teams.
He's got to let his hitters have a chance.
There's the middle I was talking about, but he hits it out of bounds.
Not a very good set there either.
8-8. Quincy's starting to look around for the first time, not knowing what to do, who to go after.
Well, I bet Drexler gets who to go to.
And another nice pass. There's another middle, and it's blocked. That's a timeout.
The thing of this is, it's not so much the things IPFW is doing to execute as much.
The Arnie Ball Show. IPFW men's head volleyball coach Arnie Ball, along with assistant coach Mark Franke, review recent activities and highlights each Thursday evening at 10:30 p.m. on Channel 6. Tune in to keep up with the team, meet the players, and find out what's ahead. That's Thursdays at 10:30 p.m. right here on College Access Channel 6.
The IPFW is playing a little bit better, but it's more of Quincy mistakes so far that seem to have led to the turnout.
They've made some unforced errors here, trying to maybe press for something they don't have athletically, but they're doing the right thing. And if they come up with that athleticism play, I think that they'd be still ahead and just cruising right along to a victory here in this second game.
As a coach, is this the type of match where you say, as long as they don't lose it, you really don't care. You just want to
get through the night.
Get through the night, right? And stay healthy,
Yep. So the Dons take the lead 9-8 here. They serve in again. Ball's handled well again. There's a back row hit off the block, handled by Javier. Javi will get it out of the pipe, and he'll get a kill.
And the Dons move to 10-8.
Another nice play. Middle attack, it's handled by Hector this time. Back to Hector. Ball's dug. Back row attack, never made it. 4 hits. Never made it over the net.
And point 11 for the Dons.
So that causes 11-8. Boy, that's a quick run for the Dons. They were down, what, 8-2?
8-2.
They've scored 9 in a row at this point. Slide off the block. They finally get their side out.
Hector did a nice job of serving there.
And it wasn't jumping either.
Brings up number 6, Pat Barton.
And here we go. That's an overpass. That should be a kill. It's a miss hit instead. Out of bounds.
Quincy's kind of at the spot where IPFW was about 12, 13 years ago. Just starting the program and trying to build, and it's hard.
Brian Harris into the game for the Dons. Back row specialist. Serving specialist. And there's another nice pass. I tell you, Quincy's passing well tonight. That's through the block and down. Can't defend that. It's a tough one.
Number 7, Rob Steincooler.
There they go. That's a nice serve. It handcuffs Hector. He gets it on target. There's George, and that ball is out of bounds. Just sails it. Didn't get any top spin on it, so it flies out of bounds. 11-9. I think this is where Quincy made their run in this rotation before, if I remember right. Nice pass back to George. It's blocked, and Gislin decides, I don't want to play that one. So Arnie Ball calls his second timeout of game 2. So we will be right back after these messages.
Since you graduated from college, we haven't seen too much of you.
We know you've been very busy climbing the ladder of success.
We've been watching you on your way up.
And we've enjoyed seeing you put your degree to work.
Now, how about sharing your time with us?
Your expertise would come in handy, too.
You can reconnect with your alma mater through your alumni association.
It's time for you to come back to your campus.
Call your alumni office today.
Welcome back to the IPFW Hilliard Gate Sports Center. We're coming out of the second timeout. Coach Franke over here has had to create a new stat for the kick offensive move.
Yeah, kick save and a beauty, and that was really a save because he had to kick it over.
He had no choice. Ball was going to hit the floor really quick.
Well, we got serve toe for Chris. We got to come up with something with Hector for that one.
The Pele move. And that ball is in. Handled well, outside, tight set. It's, wow, what a weird play that was. Kind of two left-hand shots to get that over the net. That'll cause it to be 11-11. Look at this. Quincy looking for game 2. They serve again tough. That's not handled well by Hector. Ricky has a pretty good shot, but they block it out of bounds.
Against 3 blockers.
Boy, they had that lined up too. Nice job by Quincy making a comeback after they could have easily folded. Gislin rips one, it's handled well. Weak side attack off of Javi's face. Handled up by Brian, out to Javi, he's too early. He has to roll it. Quincy doesn't read it, so it's a point for the Dons.
Ugly, ugly play. The dig from Brian Harris wasn't handled that well, and the set wasn't that good. Everything was ugly, but it worked.
That's right. Experienced team would have picked that ball up, made him pay for that. There's Chris with a nice play. That's 4 hits, however.
Well, that would have been fun to see if that would have worked.
Yeah, that would have, if that was just coming off of one person, the first 2 happened so quickly that that was just one person. That play's legal too. Join us again Friday evening, March 20th at 8 o'clock for our next telecast of IPFW men's volleyball, when Channel 6 will televise live the match between the University of Pacific and the IPFW Mastodons. That's Friday evening, the 20th at 8 o'clock right here on College Access Channel 6.
That's going to be from the Coliseum.
That'll be our spring fling, the annual event. Also USC involved with that one.
And I bet USC doesn't have very many good memories that come into Fort Wayne.
No, I don't think they will, and I think they're not doing very well this year also.
Now they climbed back into the rankings last week. They got up to 15th.
They're at 15 on the AVCA USA poll. Volleyball Magazine has them listed as a other, I believe.
We have some standards.
Some standards, huh?
Not many, but some.
Not many, but enough. Polls almost being identical.
Yeah, Detroit 6 and 9. I really have a hard time ranking a team with a losing record.
Yeah, I do too. That's 4 hits, yep. Yeah, that's something that happens in our poll too, and it's easier to do. The fewer the teams you have, the easier it is to do. But in ours, when there's 300 teams,
right.
I mean, to have somebody with a 500 or a losing record being ranked in the top 20, I have a real problem with that.
Well, as in the women's poll for Division II, also a lot of its reputation in the men's poll, and there's only like 20 legitimate big-time teams too.
Yep. And so the Dons still hold their edge of 2 points at the end of this game as Ricky comes up with a jump spinner. On target, middle hit, kill, side out.
Here comes our big server, Steve Drexler.
That ball is in. Very nice serve. Outside to Hector, he hits it off the block cross court, down for the kill. Double substitution for the Dons as we've got Ryan Prock coming back in for Harris and back row specialist Justin Luna going in for George Ikavu.
Number 1, Justin Luna.
Justin played well last night. He got him going in that second game last night. Without Justin, they probably would have been out 3-zip last night.
Yep. There's a nice serve. Ball is sent to the wall.
Gets to go serve for game point.
Game 2 on the line here, 14-11. That's a great serve. Handled well, however. Back row hit out of the pipe. It's blocked. It's 4 hits. Never went over, so that's point 15 for the Dons. Game 2 goes to them. They're up 2-0. And as the team switches to courts, we will take a timeout.
Check it out.
The campus has it all.
Learn it, work it, play it, just do it. It's a cool place. Call now. Go to work, go to school, go ahead.
Your parents are always bugging you to get out of the house and get some exercise. But you've got your own way of doing things. You're your own person. You don't need to follow the crowd or the rules. And the last people you want to be like are your parents.
Johnny, tell them what they want.
Michael Jordan, UNCF, take 1.
We're here to tell you about the College Fund. It was set up to help deserving kids get a chance to be what they want to be. Are there any future doctors in the house?
Yeah!
Any scientists?
Yeah!
What about teachers?
Yeah!
All right, now who's going to play professional basketball? Come on. It's a good job. Please join me and support the College Fund. Mine is a terrible thing to waste.
Yeah!
Let's use this piñata to show why kids under 12 don't belong in the front seat.
Hey, that piñata looks like me.
Really? I hadn't noticed. Hey, look, Vince. Candy.
Yeah, all jawbreakers.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your kids in the back seat.
Welcome back to the IPFW Mastodon. This is Tim Maverick along with Blake Sebring calling tonight's action, Quincy versus the Dons. And this evening's IPFW men's volleyball match on Channel 6 is brought to you in part by Fujifilm USA, by the Chestnut Group Incorporated, and by Farm Bureau Insurance. Blake, we got the stats here for the second game. What do you notice?
I really noticed that Quincy is out blocking IPFW for the match so far. 4 blocks to 3. That is amazing.
That is stunning. When I look at the hitting for the second game, actually the kills are almost identical. The difference in hitting really is a few more errors for Quincy.
Yeah, and that's you would expect from a young team like that.
And that's kind of how the Dons got back into that game, was hitting errors. And you look at the digs to kills, the Dons have taken a little bit of an edge there as they've got twice as many digs to kills. But other than that, that second game was pretty close. Those take away those hitting errors, Quincy wins that game.
Well, they had a 8-2 lead, and then it was back to 11-10. They cut it. IPFW took an 11-8 lead, and then Quincy tied up at 11-11 and ended up losing the game 15-11. Well, Justin starts here.
Yeah, Justin's in. Ben Sherman also in. Chris Farmer's in. We got everybody in here. A lot of new faces.
Really interested to see Ben play. Ben's a junior from Fort Wayne. He's really, you hear a lot about him. Everybody's impressed with him, and I want to see him play. That's kind of nice.
Yeah, it is. He's made another person who's made a major improvement over last year. Jumping higher, hitting the ball harder.
Number 10 of the Dons, Chris Gislin.
As Gislin whips up his spinner, that ball's in there. Little hubby-wife play.
They both thought the other guy was going to get it.
Yeah. You take it, I don't want it. You take it, I'll take it.
Since I'm not married, I'll just take your word for that. I get criticized when I say that out here.
The hubby wife play made famous by Chris Marlowe, gold medal volleyball player on 1984
I thought
team.
you were going to name an actual married couple that had, never mind. Get us both in big trouble.
Another serves, sidewinder. That'll cause an overpass. Ben Sherman on a not so good set, saves it. There's a nice block by Farmer though, however. Whew. That's big.
The hitters have been doing a pretty good job of adjusting to Chris's sets this weekend. Because they've had to, and they've been able to get some power behind them.
There's an off play by Quincy.
Kennedy McConnell's going to come in for Quincy.
Yeah, he's a good move as Reimer's had a tough night of it. He sailed quite a few balls out of bounds and into the net on good opportunities. Gibson serves it up again. He's serving much better tonight than last night, that's for sure. Quincy's in trouble. They save it somehow. There's an awful pass. There's an awful pass. And it'll cost the Dons.
Kind of an easy call to make on that one.
Yeah, it's 4-0 in favor of the Dons, however. Justin handles that one perfectly. Farmer crushes
Nice
that
set.
ball.
Nice set.
4-0, number 5, Ricardo Soler.
Ricky, let's see what kind of jumper he gives us this time. It is a spinner down the line out of bounds.
If that ball had been in, it might have been an ace because that looked like it would have been real hard to handle.
That would have been hard to handle had that been in because it was kind of a dislocate. His body's facing the other way. There's a nice play, and that's a lift
call.
on the setter. Got to make that call. Gets Quincy on the board. Stray ball enters the court.
Did you ever see anybody get hurt on a stray ball?
In a warm-up, yes, but not during a match. Yeah, they're really easy to come down on after you jump and twist an ankle. That's not a pretty sight to watch.
I'm sure.
That's a nice play by Quincy. Working it off the block for a side out.
And then 1-4, number 16.
Now Kennedy McConnell goes back to serve. Left-hand serve. Ricardo Soler takes it. Not a very good set from Chris Gislin. Ben Sherman had no chance on that. Chris really seems like he's just really struggling with his confidence tonight and last night.
Might want to mention to everybody that Arnie Ball, should he win this match, which it kind of looks that way, this will be his 300th victory as a coach, an NCAA coach.
At IPFW.
At IPFW. And I think there will probably be a presentation after the match is over of a plaque. There's a nice cross to Ben Sherman. It's handled though and played and out of bounds. Trying for too much.
Arnie currently ranks 6th on the NCAA records list for men's coaches with wins. He's trying to catch up with Ray Rattel of Long Beach State.
And there's the slide back. It's through the block and down. Quincy still fighting and clawing.
And that'll bring up number 6 for Quincy. Penn.
Boy, they have just, you're right, they have fought and clawed all night. They have played very well.
Not a good pass. Ben out of the back row. It's off the hands. So they'll play again. And that's through the block by Justin Luna.
And again, 4-3, the Dons with number 1, Justin Luna.
There's a nice play. It is outside. Just a tad long. Not ready for that set. 5-3 our score. Another nice serve. They go outside again, and he's roofed by Chris Gislin that time. Not much room. And that ball's in. And that ball's blocked again.
7-3 Dogs.
That causes a substitution. Substitution into the game for Quincy. Joe Pearson. Another new face. He's going to pass. I'd say he might see this next serve. No, he doesn't. Goes the other way. That ball is to the back row, out of the D, and it's a little long.
I think he forgot his hitter was left-handed.
That causes the timeout to happen at 8-3 in the third game by Quincy. So we will return after these messages.
Hi, I'm Edward James Olmos. On the streets of Fort Wayne, there's a battle going on. It's about kids fighting kids and families fighting families. Our youth are struggling to survive. Without positive alternatives to gangs, drugs, and violence, many will end up incarcerated or dead. You can make a difference by supporting the Multicultural Youth Advisory on Gangs and its programs. They provide alternatives for youth. Together we can stop the violence and increase the peace. To learn how you can make a difference in the lives of youth, please call.
Welcome back to the Hilliard Gates Sports Center. Coming out of our timeout of the game 3. IPFW up 8-3.
They won the first game 15-6 and the second 15-11. And the second was pretty entertaining. And actually the first game was pretty entertaining too.
Certainly was. I think we've got too many new faces in there for Quincy to have that kind of excitement at this point of the match. They're still struggling. That's off the block. It's played up by Sherman. And back to Sherman, off the block, played up. It'll be some kind of a roll shot, free ball. Yes, a free ball, short to Ryan. He handles it well. Back to Sherman, they want to get him a kill, they do. He's in the books.
Is that his first career collegiate kill?
I gotta think it is.
I bet it is too.
I'm not for sure, but
he earned it.
Here we go again. Nice pass, middle, out of bounds. Big old hit there. Gets the Dons a little closer to finishing this one off. It's 9-3. Justin with the pass to Ryan with a big old tip right down there for the kill. And we have a substitution. Ryan Harris into the game for Ryan Perot.
At 9-3, number 2, Ryan Harris.
So far tonight, IPFW coach Arnie Ball's used 11 out of the 12 players on his roster.
Trying to get them all in there. And there's a back set. That's off the block and down for the kill.
He better be hustling.
10-3. I don't think we're going to see him at this point.
You don't think we're going to see Jorge?
Nope. There's a nice short serve. Outside. Blocked. Controlled. The setter's on the ground. It's pancake. It's in.
I'll tell you what. Ryan Harris is so much fun to watch serve because he can put it anywhere you want.
And there comes another sub for Quincy Hawks. They're getting their people in as well. And Jorge enters the game for Chris Gislin.
That means you lose the bet.
I lost the bet for sure. 12 are in. Another short serve, and that ball is back set, off the block, played up again. They'll set him again over there. Oh, it's just too much. Big block.
A lot of people forget Jorge Relat was the starting setter at IPFW before Chris Gislin got here. He did a pretty decent job when he was here.
Yep. Yeah, he could play the game.
The brother of former IPFW great Felipe Relat.
Who's in Switzerland right now, playing pro ball.
He came back over the holidays. Looks good. been building his body up a little bit.
Likes his life over there.
Well, if I was getting paid what he was getting paid, I'd like my life over there too.
There's a middle set that's a little loopy and doesn't connect with Farmer. There comes another tough serve. It's not handled well. It's pipe set to Justin. Three-man block puts him down.
That's a pretty good set, a pretty good swing. They were just ready for it.
12-5, still in favor of the Dons at this point. Tight pass, tip down, left-handed Jorge Ralat puts her away. He's in the books.
Number 8, Jorge Ralat.
And he rips his jump serve into the net.
Number 14, Steve Drexler.
And there's a nice middle set. It's down, tried to get the pancake, but didn't catch it.
And then 12-5, number 5, Ricardo Soler.
There's a nice back set. It's blocked out. Oh, there's another kick save. And we're into the stands, and it's still good. It's a free ball. It's in. What a play by Quincy. Green set. Benjamin. Oh, it's a huge dig. What a play. What a rally. There's some excitement. What a play. That was a great rally for the Dons. And that ball's out of bounds. 13-5.
Joe Pearson for Quincy.
There's
Nice
a great
pass.
set. Oh, they're all over that one. Big old block there.
Beautiful pass.
13-6.
Sir Quincy's a nice serving club. They're tough that way.
They are. They're going after it. They're still going after it. Sidewinder causing an overpass.
They're getting it.
Free ball. There's a ball that just doesn't happen. Ball's on Quincy's side.
Brings up number 6, Chris Farmer.
13-6. Farmer's way back to serve. He does. It's in. Handled well on target middle. There it goes again. Through Farmer's hands. Point, or side out, I should say, to the Hawks.
Number 16, Quincy's Kennedy McConnell.
There's another nice serve. It's on target. Harris out of the middle for a kill.
That's got to be the first college kill for Brian Harris.
Out of the middle, no less.
13-6.
No, he's got one out of, earlier this year, he had one out of the back row, I remember, but that was as an outside hitter, not as a middle blocker. Look at him take over the middle blocking position.
Show Ryan and Mike how it's done.
That ball's off of Jorge's hands, out of bounds. Huge block for the Dons.
Quincy's number 11, Steve Roper.
And we got maybe the shortest front line that we could come up with here with Justin.
Probably the shortest front line IPFW's ever had.
I think that looks familiar to me.
Tim's having flashbacks here.
Holy smokes, we're back in the 80s here. Oh, nice set. Nice set.
Quincy's punishing them.
Just a crush play there.
That's all right. They're having fun.
Absolutely. Boy, they got a nice middle attack. Ryan's not really sure where to start here.
Well, he's never played the front row.
He's got it now. Oh, there's the tip. It's played. Nope, it's down. And Harris goes back to serve. He's just not sure on this rotation thing yet.
Well, he's probably just, I don't think Brian's ever played the front row, has he?
I think he did earlier this year, but it's very unusual as that goes off of Jorge Ralat again. And a side out.
Yeah, usually as an offensive strategy, you say, who's the short guy on the other side? You try to hit over top of him, and it's like, but who do you pick?
Yeah, you just kind of set whoever you want then, I guess. That ball's handled. And a back one to Sherman, 4 hits.
Point for Quincy.
Point for Quincy, that's 13-7. They creep back a little more. Oh, that's a tough serve. Tough serve. Ace. Nice serve.
Get one more point, do you call timeout?
They're banging away. Well, I hope they call another timeout because I want to get this other promo in here. That one's out of bounds. Doesn't drop.
Let's see if Jorge gets his serve in here. He's going to jump it.
He does. This one's in. It's a little easier this time. And there's an inside cross. It's off the hands of the blockers, so it's a side out.
Here comes Drexler, their best player.
Sub coming in. I think
I jinxed him.
Tim has got all his players into this match, that's for sure. Getting a lot of valuable experience for his young team. Gotta like what they've done here tonight. That'll help them build for the future.
They've played pretty well.
And there's a nice jumper cold off the bench. Middle attack, it's in there, Chris Farmer.
Nice play all around.
So our athletic director, Butch Perchin, tried to dive out on the court to dig that. We had to hold him back. There's a nice set off balance. That ball is
Boy, I'll tell you
off.
what.
Nope, it's not off the block. It's a point for the nine.
Butch is just getting so emotional over the prospect of Arnie winning his 300th match.
He is. He's just going nuts. And we have match point on the line here. Fans are into it. It is in there. Nice middle attack. Another jump serve. Boy, they're still cracking away at it. Sherman's too far underneath it. Tips it.
Ugly kill.
Ugly kill.
But we'll take.
We're getting pretty close here.
Sherman did a great job on that play, just getting the ball in the court.
Yeah. There's a nice serve. Middle attack again. That ball is out of bounds. No touch. That'll be point match game. Dons win 15-8 as they shake hands with Quincy. They'll win 3-0 tonight. Blake, what do you see here tonight? I tell you, I just can't, just too used to that. What do you see here tonight? What'd you see?
I thought Quincy played pretty well. They served aggressively. They played aggressively. IPFW was a little flat. I think they're ready to go to Puerto Rico.
I think you're right. I think they had
a lot of kids got to play, though, which was good.
Yeah, they had the let's go to work tonight kind of attitude about it all. And then once the reserves get in there, then they had a little more fun, I thought.
Yeah, they had a little more fire. They were ready to play.
A little more fire. And as the Dons huddle up for their end of the match huddle, and they'll break, I think we've picked out a dandy Don, haven't we?
I think we have too. We're going to give it to Coach Arnie Ball, who won his 300th career match. And I know he wanted it bad last night, but it worked out kind of nice this way. The Chancellor Mike Wartell is going to make the presentation along with Athletic Director Butch Perchin.
And so we're going to have a presentation out here. We had our little buddy dropped and had a little crash out there on the floor, but he's back up and he'll make her. And so we're gathering here for the presentation of the 300th win. And Butch is now going to take care of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a milestone occasion for IPFW Athletics and for Coach Ball and our men's volleyball program. Tonight's victory marks win number 300 for Arnie Ball and our men's volleyball program.
Arnie shall now speak. Who knows what he's going to say?
What that really means is that my mom and dad, who are back over there, at least I see my dad, and there's my mom. And to put it in proper perspective, I think my wife's on a shopping trip. And she hasn't gotten back yet. But what it really means is that in the 16 or 17 years that I've been here, and a couple years before that with a guy named Kurt Hazlett standing down here, the fellow doesn't have any hair. Back in the late 70s, is that we've had an opportunity to have a lot of wonderful young men come through this program, and it just means I've been here a long time. So thank you everybody for coming, and we look forward to seeing you the rest of the season. Thank you.
And we have some words from Arnie Ball looking at the stats here. How did we finish up?
Well, it was a very balanced night for IPFW. Hector Soto led them in kills with 9, and Javier Escobar had 8. Ricardo Soler had 7, Ryan Perrott had 6. For Quincy, Rob Steinkühler had 10. Let's see what else we got here. The blocks were 8-6 in favor of IPFW. The digs were 33-27 in favor of IPFW. Let's see what else we got. Chris Gislin had 35 assists. That's about it, Tim. I mean, the hitting was 38% for IPFW and 4% for Quincy. And we're about to have a special interview
with our dandy Don, Arnie Ball, over with our new news reporter, Dottie Porch. As she is getting set up over in the corner with Arnie in our mobile cam. I think we're also doing our fly-in here. As everybody knows, we do a fly-in. The winner will win 2 free tickets to the anywhere in the continental U.S. On American Airlines. So over to our left here, boom, they're off and running with the throw-in. They're trying to fly paper airplanes into a swimming pool. And here we go to our news reporter, Dottie Porch.
Congratulations, Coach Ball, on your 300th career win. What changes are you going to make this week when you go to Puerto Rico? What changes are you going to make in order to get your team ready to play?
We're not going to make many changes other than enjoy some sunshine. We're going to get out of the gym for about 3 days. We worked real hard the last 3 weeks. I think the kids are tired. They're ready to go on spring break. So we're going to just spend some time out of the gym, go down and play 3 matches, and come back and get ready to play for the spring fling.
Who do you play down in Puerto Rico? Do these matches impact your tournament, MIVA tournament?
No, they do not. We're going to play Concordia College, which is actually a team out of New York, American University of America from Puerto Rico, and then a professional team from Puerto Rico also. So 2 out of the 3 matches count on our NCAA record.
Well, congratulations once again, and good luck down in Puerto Rico.
Thank you, Dottie.
No problem.
All right, thank you very much, Dottie Porch and Arnie Ball. We'd like to take this time to thank the Channel 6 crew, the IPFW athletic staff, the City of Fort Wayne, and Comcast Cablevision for their contributions to this Channel 6 sports telecast. Special thanks to Pizza Hut at Canterbury for their support in bringing you tonight's telecast of IPFW men's volleyball. We'd like to remind you that to join us again next Friday evening, the 20th at 8 o'clock for our next telecast of IPFW men's volleyball, when Channel 6 will carry live the match between the University of Pacific and the IPFW Mastodons. That's 8 o'clock Friday evening, the 20th, right here on College Access Channel 6. This Channel 6 telecast of IPFW Sports is copyrighted and the sole property of College Cable Access Center and IPFW. The unauthorized duplication, exhibition, retransmission, rebroadcast, or any other use of this event without expressed written consent is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed our telecast of IPFW Sports. Thanks again for joining us this evening. For Blake Sebring, this is Tim Heffron saying goodbye for now.
Welcome to the Arnie Ball Show. This week our show is going to be a little bit different. We're going to review our matches against Rutgers and Penn State this last weekend, preview our first conference tournament match against Quincy. Our special guest is our trainer Beth Geisman, and we're going to have a senior recognition segment at the end, so please stay with us.
What if you had to choose between a flower and an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a million-year-old beach? Could you choose between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Now you can choose all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental groups working together. It's one choice we can all live with.
Welcome to the Arnie Ball Show. Our sponsors this week are the Chestnut Group and Fujifilm. I'm your host, Mark Franke. 2 weeks in a row I got
you're on a roll. We can never end this show. You got them right twice.
I didn't realize that last Thursday night when this was playing, Rutgers and Penn State, they were both in town already, and they were watching the show. And in fact, you really got the Rutgers coach irritated. He came up to me prior to our playing them on Friday night, and he says, "What do you mean we overlap all the time? We never overlap." He was really offended. Of course, then in Game 3, guess what happens?
They overlapped.
We caught him in an overlap. And Junior gets a free ace without even having to work at it.
Well, that's right. The Penn State coaches are trying to offer you some kind of a game host show job or something. Or they think you're the next Bob Barker.
Bob Barker,
You
yes.
know?
I'll take that job with Penn State because I saw the way they travel. Great big charter bus, a professional bus driver, and no coaches driving.
You like that, huh?
I like that.
You'd be spoiled.
I could use spoiling after all these years.
we can't spoil a guy like you. That's
what would old poor Ron Pickanu do if we didn't drive his vans into the ground all the time?
Then he wouldn't have to worry about coming on this show and being
That's
embarrassed.
Right. That's right. Well, things were a little better Friday night. We were in a much more jovial mood than we were Saturday night. In fact, the reason we don't have any footage this week is the only footage we had was of Game 3 against Penn State when we lost 15-1, and we thought we didn't want to show that. Is that right? Is that really why we don't have game footage?
Whatever you say.
Whatever I say.
You're the man in charge. They want you to, I mean, you're the guru, so whatever you say is all right with me.
Last weekend, actually the matches didn't mean anything. Our conference seating had been established. All they meant, we're playing two pretty good teams, the number 1 and number 2 teams in the Eastern Conference, and it gave us a chance to get prepared for the tournament. Played real well Friday night against Rutgers, I think, and it was still a fairly close match. The other 3 games were all close, including the other 2 we lost. But Penn State played very well, and they went home with the victory.
Both those mean a lot. Don't like losing to Larson, and certainly don't lose liking to Pavlik at all. But the one of really the keys, from a negative standpoint for us, is if we were to win the conference tournament now, we might end up seated 4th instead of 3rd, if indeed Penn State gets to go.
Actually, as we saw those 2 teams play last week, Rutgers only has 1 loss in the conference. That's to Penn State a week ago, I think, or 2 weeks ago. Penn State has 3 already, but Penn State clearly played much better this weekend than Rutgers did. It's hard to see why they should have 3 losses is the way they played Saturday night.
Well, Rutgers had one of their key players out. Their number 1 passer didn't play. He was hurt. So that certainly hurt their performance a little bit. And they went down to Ball State and got beat 3-zip also. So it wasn't a very good weekend for Rutgers. I think we talked to Mark afterwards. That's the best Penn State's played all year. I thought they played especially well defensively. And they didn't do anything in particular well serving other than keep the ball on the floor. And we had trouble passing. Hector had a lot of trouble passing, and so did Justin even at times. And when that happens, we weren't able. Early in the match, I think I talked to Blake, and he told me we were like 15, 1, and 23 in the middle early. I mean, we were really good in the middle early, and then we couldn't be very good because we couldn't get the ball close to the target area to run our offense.
Looking at the statistics, the official statistics afterwards, the hitting, they were slightly better than us in hitting. They had a few more digs, but we had more team blocks. So the stats were all pretty even, except for serving. They clearly outserved us, and that showed on the aces and errors stat.
Well, once again, we're still a pretty high-risk team in serving, and we did not serve the ball particularly well. And we had streaks again where we gave up the ball very easily after we'd made a great play or made a block.
We didn't win many rallies, which is unusual for us this season.
You know, I was watching the game tape just before we did the show here today, and in game one, because that's all I've gotten through up to this point, we made a great serve, and the ball comes over, and George is in the net on an overpass, and Hector makes a great dig, and Chris kind of short arms the ball down where we should have set and run the offense. Just some things like that. Some things that we characteristically haven't been doing the last couple of weeks. We just seem to do. Seem to be a real helter-skelter kind of effort by us.
Focus now, after the loss to Penn State, has to be on Quincy coming up Saturday night, which is the quarterfinals of the MIVA tournament. First round goes to the top seeded teams, and since we're one of the top 4 seeded teams, we get to play the first round at home against Quincy. What are you going to prepare the team for in particular for Quincy?
I don't think we prepare them any different than we have in the past in regards to playing Quincy. What we have to do is concentrate a little bit on us and just keep working on that serving to try and decrease those errors per match or per game that we've been having, and certainly get back in some kind of a rhythm with our offense. As you mentioned earlier, against Rutgers, we're in good rhythm. We're for the most part against Loyola, and by the way, that loss actually makes Loyola second up there, because they got beat twice again this weekend, but so did Lewis. So the loss we put on Loyola made them second, so that doesn't necessarily break my heart. Just thought I'd throw that in there in case Gordon's watching. But we won't prepare any differently other than just try and get our team more consistent, get them back into a rhythm.
Focus is on us, not Quincy.
Yeah,
We've beaten them before, and we know if we play well, it's not an issue.
Should not be.
Should not be an issue. When I come back, our trainer Beth Geisman will join me. We'll talk a little bit about her duties. So please stay with us.
Out! Out! There's no ways out! It's impossible!
Actually, Coach, it's not. See, Jimmy had to travel a distance of 90 feet. He reached an average speed of 15 miles per hour. The ball left 2 seconds later than Jimmy and had to go 1.5 times the distance.
If education is important to you, talk to your child's school about raising academic standards. Call 1-800-38-BE-SMART for a free booklet and be a big league
Thus
parent.
enabling it to reach the destination at a much quicker rate.
Did you factor in the wind speed?
Welcome back to the Arnie Ball Show. Our guest this week is trainer Beth Geisman. Beth works with the volleyball team on the road primarily, and then in the mornings in our training room, and we're going to talk a little bit about that because it's an unusual and very interesting situation that she has here. Beth is employed by Sport One, which is a division of Orthopedics Northeast, and Sport One basically volunteers her time to help IPFW athletics. She's over here in the Gates Center in the training room in the morning working with athletes who need special rehabilitation and special services. And she also works with Huntington High School, I believe. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then as an additional thing, Beth volunteers her time to travel on the road with our team. And so she's has to go to all those terrible places like Santa Barbara and Puerto Rico, and if we make the finals, she'll probably lower herself to go to Honolulu with us, complaining the whole time, I'm sure.
That is correct.
Beth, tell us a little bit about your background, your academic and work background that brought you into training.
Well, when I was a senior in high school, I blew a ligament out in my knee. That's kind of how I got in the field of athletic training. And from that, it was kind of difficult to play sports with that. So I then went to Vincennes University and went to school there for 2 years and was a major in physical education with a specialization in athletic training. Transferred to Indiana State and finished my degree there. And then upon graduation there in '92, I came upon Sport One. Orthopedics Northeast had a position open, and I took a job with them and was the head athletic trainer out at St. Francis College for 3 years. And then I came over to IPFW, where this unique situation came open where I had an opportunity to be an assistant athletic trainer here at IPFW to help out in the training room and then to go down to the Huntington North High School 2 days a week to help them out.
So what Sport One does then is it takes athletic trainers and places them in the colleges and the high schools in the area, and they assist training staffs, which even here we're the biggest in the area, but we've got the big dog, Mike Gale's our head trainer. He's full-time, and then Shari's, I think,
part-time.
Very part-time. And other than that, it's a volunteer like you, right?
Right.
And so it very much is appreciated by our athletes to have an additional trainer on hand.
Yeah, especially for Mike being full-time, it's hard for him to do everything. Otherwise, he's here, 8 in the morning till games are over at night at 11 o'clock. So I come in and I'm in there, 9 a.m. or sometimes before, and then I have rehab appointments all morning, and we kind of run rehab up till 2 o'clock. And then from 2 o'clock on, it's just players that need to get taped or ready for practice and that type of stuff. But it really enables us to schedule appointments for the individual athlete and spend the quality of time that they need to get them back to the sport as fast as we can.
So then your help to Mike is that you can do the one-on-one work that needs to be done with the injured players, and he can cover the practices and the home games. But then he's not able to go on the road, and that's where you volunteered your time to go with us.
Yep. Arnie was wanting a trainer to go on the road, and the opportunity arose to me, and I thought, well, their road trips aren't that bad. So.
Until 4 o'clock last Sunday morning, we're driving home from Chicago. You probably had second thoughts, didn't you?
Oh, it wasn't too bad. You got to take some of the good with some of the bad.
That's right.
So, but no, it's been real fun working with Arnie and all the players this year, and getting to go some places that I haven't been and see different facilities and programs.
Let's take a bad situation that occurred. Ricky's injury at Loyola. It turns out that your injury is probably very similar in a lot of ways to his, and so you knew exactly how to treat it, and that treatment that was given then right on the spot immediately certainly helped minimize the damage or the pain to the player.
Yeah, I mean, so much of, especially in athletics, to get an athlete back as fast as possible, the first 24 to 72 hours are so crucial. And especially with an injury like that, you always will sustain a lot of swelling anytime you have ligament tear or, fractures or something like that. But you want to get ice and proper treatment right away on it, because if you can minimize that swelling, then that's time you save in rehabbing, because if there's a lot of swelling in there, it's hard then to get the range of motion and their strength. So that was fortunate. Unfortunate that he hurt it, but fortunate in the aspect that I was there and we were able to have immediate treatment and treatment through that full weekend, which really did save him a lot.
And then even in a situation like with Mike Cummings, he injured himself at practice, but then as we traveled, he needed to have rehab and attention to that elbow, and you were able to provide that because you were with us.
Yeah, that is one fortunate thing about having a trainer on the road, is you don't lose that time while you're gone in a way, as you're able to still treat, and try to progress each day, as much as you can.
The alternative, of course, is if you're not around, is I handle the training duties on the road, and my med kit consists of a little vial of super glue. Body part falls off, I glue it back on, they get back in the game. So the players probably appreciate your bedside manner a little bit better than mine.
Yeah, there's times, though, I can be a drill instructor, and in fact, in rehab this morning, Ricky was like, "Come on, Beth, take it easy on me." So, but I try to, get them the best care that they can.
And that's probably one of the things the trainer has to do, is when they think a player is really whining too much or maybe isn't pushing hard enough, the trainer has to be the taskmaster, so to speak. Certainly Mike Gale's equipped to do that. An old football player like him, he doesn't mind yelling and screaming at an athlete, but for you, it's probably a little different kind of manner that it takes.
Actually, I can yell and scream at him just
with
as
the best of us.
I might be little, but man, I can get mean sometimes. But
what are some of the things that you carry with you in your med kit that you might need? We used to tape all the time, and now we don't do so much taping anymore because of active ankle support and so forth.
Still pretty much the same type of stuff: pre-wrap tape, Band-Aids, antibiotic ointment, ibuprofen, eye wash, just the normal, like a medicine cabinet basically that you take on the road. You kind of have to, especially if you're going out of town far away, you kind of have to pack for anything that's, possible that could happen. Kids getting sick, Pepto-Bismol, just normal stuff you'd have in your medicine cabinet.
What's that thing with electrodes that you hook up to them and shock them?
That's called a muscle stimulator. And what it does is you can use it to re-educate muscles, like when the muscle tissue shuts down. And there's also a little portable one called the TENS unit, which stands for trans-electrical Okay, I can't say the dumb word anyway.
Well, I'm
It's a
not going to
great
be able
thing.
to help you.
Transcutaneous
idea.
electrical nerve stimulator. We call it TENS for short. But what it does...
That's a rehab
Yeah, it's a rehab thing, and it also helps control pain.
Okay. Well, certainly on behalf of the IPFW athletic program, I'd like to thank Beth for everything she's done, and Sport One, her employer, for allowing her to spend so much time with us. When I come back, Arnie will rejoin me, and we're going to have a senior recognition, talk a little bit about alumni weekend, and I guess that'll be it. So please stay with us.
On the big highway of life, there's only one safe place for kids. Backseat, baby. The front seat's not the place to drop out. Don't want that big old bag to pop out. Backseat, baby. Put that booties in the backseat. Backseat, baby. Have that kids you never meet. I'm here to remind you to put them behind you. Backseat, baby. Wow, look at here. Backseat, baby. To stay alive even when I drive.
On January 8th, Amy Narvajo was saved from freezing to death by the National Guard. Were it not for their employers giving them the time to answer the call, this story might have had a different ending. To every employer who supports the Guard and Reserve, thanks for making us your business.
Welcome back to the Arnie Ball Show. Arnie, certainly the addition of Beth this year and all the sports you get from Sport One has to be a major factor in the success of the program.
Well, it's a little bit different, Mark, than a few years ago when literally I was the trainer on the road, and I've had some background in that, but certainly not to the extent that Beth and the folks at Sport One. But the real key became a real issue, showed up when I did a tape a couple ankles up in Guelph. I think Raul Papaleo may have been the one I did, and his toes actually turned blue. And when that happened, I thought maybe we should try and get somebody else to do it besides me. And Raul agreed. He was very thankful that we indeed got someone to help. But certainly, originally when I had talked to the North Sport One people, Joe and some of the folks over there, Lee, were going to take turns. And we said, you know, with Beth helping us regularly like she does, it'd be really nice if we still had some consistency within our program with our team. And so they asked Beth if she'd be willing to do it, and she has certainly done a tremendously adequate job. Kids really like her, and she obviously knows what she's doing, and certainly no doubt but what she's been able to get some of our kids. We've had a lot of injury kinds of problems. A lot of our kids back playing when indeed we haven't been able to do that in the past.
Okay, well, thanks again to Orthopedics Northeast, Sport One, and Beth Geisman. We'd like to now go to some tape. This is going to be the senior recognition, and we're going to cut to Arnie on the mic.
They're scattered around the gym, but I would like, this weekend is alumni weekend for the men's team and the women that I coached here, and there are a group of them all over the place over here. A few gentlemen and ladies would please stand so we can recognize the alumni from IPFW.
Good to stand
Where
up,
you all
Colin.
at? We thank you so very, very much for all that you've meant to us. The second group of individuals I'd like to recognize is we have 4 seniors on our team this year. First of all, we'd like to recognize senior and present them with a plaque that says thanks for your dedication to the IPFW men's volleyball. First, from Greece, Mr. George Iakovou. Second, number 1, from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Justin Luna. Third, from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Chris Farmer. And last but certainly not least, from Caguas, Puerto Rico, Mr. Ricardo Soler. Gentlemen, we can't thank you enough for your dedication and efforts for IPFW volleyball, our 4 seniors for 1998.
Number 1, a 6'1" senior from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Justin Luna. Number 4, a 6'5" senior from Thessaloniki, Greece, George Ayukuvu. Number 5, a 6'4" senior from Caguas, Puerto Rico, Ricardo Soler. Number 6, a 6'5" senior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Chris Farmer. Number 10, a 6'7" junior from Red Wing, Minnesota, Chris Gislin. And number 13, a 6'6" sophomore from Arroyo, Puerto Rico, Hector Soto. The Mastodons are coached by Arnie Ball. He is assisted by Mark Franke.
Well, that was certainly a nice recognition, but I think probably the highlight of that was not when you mispronounced George Yakovu's name. Even though you said you've been practicing and practicing, you still got it wrong. Stage fright, probably. But when you inserted Ricky Soler in the starting lineup and he didn't know it.
I've been practicing George's name for 4 years, and I still can't get it right.
Well, you're not alone. There are very few who can. But putting Ricky in the starting lineup when he can barely crawl out to the end line.
Yeah, my wife gave me the devil while that was happening. Afterwards, she understood.
Yeah.
But when it was happening, she said, she turned to somebody in the stands and said, "What is he doing now? He can't play. He's got a bad leg." And then, of course, she finally figured out that we were not going to let him make him play. She thought we were going to make him play.
Well, Pavlik's over there changing his whole serving strategy. Serve number 5.
Well, you know, I just think it's real appropriate to try and get all the seniors that recognition at the end, and especially end of the year. And I was real pleased to be able to do that. And of course, with Ricky being hurt, we could start him and then sub him out right away. So, and he didn't know until we told him right there before they announced the starting lineup. So because it took him a while to get his sweats off. He had to take his shoes off to get his sweats off. But that's okay. That's just neat for those kids. Those kids have meant a lot to us.
And George, who doesn't get a lot of playing time, never starts, played very well that first game.
Offensively, he was very good. He served real well. I remember up at Lewis, he came in and served real well. So it actually gives us a little more depth, I think, for the weekend, and there's no reason why we can't use him a little more, because we're still looking at some possibilities of what we might do at the opposite yet.
Okay.
So it could change some things. And, you know, Justin's in the same way. Justin always has to come in until Ricky got hurt, and so it's nice. And, of course, Farmer lately has been playing quite a bit.
I think both Farmer and Luna, their role all year has been to come off the bench. Justin, sometimes for short periods of time, as a defensive specialist, essentially. Chris to play a little longer. And they've been in different roles, and the pressure is very different on them, I think, now that they have to play pretty much full time.
Yeah, Justin has some problems with that because he likes coming in and being able to pick us up. And Farmer's an emotional kind of guy, and he's a kind of an emotional roller coaster kind of a guy. And if he makes 2 or 3 bad plays out on the floor, then he kind of has a tendency to hang his head. But he can come in because when he comes in, he knows somebody else in front of him is not playing very good, so he can come in and pick us up. So we may take him back to that role for this week and hopefully for next weekend. Justin's going to have to start because right now we don't have much of an option other than let him start.
Well, we're going to miss all 4 of them next year, aren't we?
We certainly are going to miss all 4 of them. You know, Mark, the first part of that tape, and unfortunately the cameras didn't show very many of our alums, but this was an alumni weekend also, and we had, I think there were 14 of the guys that came back and played on Sunday, and 4 of the girls that had played for me. I'd invited them all back, so we had about 16 of them here, and they actually played on Saturday. Matter of fact, the first time in the athletic career of one of the fellows that played me from the very beginning, Kurt Hazlett, First time he ever flipped an ankle was in that game on Saturday. And he was really upset because he said, it's the first time I've ever been hurt in my whole athletic career. And Kurt played for me way back in the late 80s here when we first got started. But it was neat to see all the kids, and we had a little golf outing on Sunday.
And I would be remiss if I did not interject at this point that Phil Bodine and his team won the big money at the golf outing.
Yeah,
and you had to pay him personally, and he enjoyed every minute of that.
And I still haven't figured out how they won. I mean, they had Craig Fox on their team, and he shot 136. He has 16 on one hole, and they still win the money. Ted Owens on that team, and he shoots 115 or something like that. So that tells us something about the integrity of Phil Bodine and Tim Heffron. Those are the other two guys on the team.
I think it's amazing. Ted Owen. There are not many pure athletes like he is. I mean, he was such a hard trainer, a good athlete all the way around, and the best he can do on a golf course is 116.
I'll tell you what, he can still play volleyball, though.
I bet he can.
He can still jump like he did when he was here. I mean, I was amazed watching him play. He and Craig Fox both play at a pretty high level still. Some of the other guys have backslid a little bit, but, including Mr. Bodine. But those two guys, Ted, he's in great playing shape. But it was great to see everybody, and we had him over at the house afterwards, and all the little munchkins running around.
A bunch of
And I guess Ted and his wife are trying to really get in the favor of me. They named their daughter Jana, the same as the daughter that I have. So it was neat to see them all.
And the other thing quickly is, Dan, I'm looking at Dan, the cameraman. He's saying his prediction is that we beat Quincy in 4 games. So we're going to hold him to that. We're going to beat that prediction, I think.
We're
we're
going to work real hard to make that a 3-gamer.
That's Saturday night in the Gates Sports Center at 7:30. If you can't make it out to the gym, be sure and tune in on Channel 6. No Channel 6? No Channel 6, I'm sorry. So come to the gym. For Arnie Paul, I'm Mark Franke. Thanks for watching, and please come back.
I'm shaking my head.